Ah, hello and welcome to the 14th episode, or 14th episode of the D&D 5e campaign, cleverly named Roaches. And where the hell did I put my phone? That is what I forgot. Anyway, today's recap will be done by Lodrick, and I will search for my phone.
I like that you stopped asking.
I mean, he's literally writing a synopsis.
Okay.
Let's
Shall I-
start on
Shall I start?
God, my fiance's calling me.
Yeah, I think he's phone searching, so I think he gave you the cue.
Yeah.
Okay. So, last time on Roaches, after Claude ran away to fulfill his destiny to become a king, and Mel and Arahant made a report to the Duke, they got a few months of time off. During which Mel tinkered with his crossbow, Abigail, and made some improvements to it. Finishing working on its crossbow, he did some odd jobs and helping here and there, and he earned quite a bit of money. Arahant, on the other hand, went in a bit of soul searching and meaning of life stuff, trying to learn what it was all about being a servant of the great catfish of wisdom and things like that. And he also had, during I think the last couple of weeks of those several months of time off, a recurring dream, which was always a bit different, but was different each time, but always ended the same. And that was a familiar looking man that was attacking him with a weapon. He used his rationality to try to understand and decipher the dream, and if it was by doing so, maybe, but the ending of the dream started to shift and change, and now that man, instead of attacking him, lie dead before his feet with 2 stab wounds into its body. Mel and Arahant received then a letter from the Duke that requested their presence and their aid again. And when arriving at his mansion, the Duke showed several reports about the city of Burke, which some merchants were selling spoiled food. Then the mayor of Burke taking actions against those merchants and ejecting them from the city. Later on, he had the guild houses or the mercantile guild houses shut down, and banned all guild house related activities. And after that, the empty guild houses became somewhat derelict buildings in which the destitute and the poor were settling in. The Duke was quite certain that the cult of Akishigal had a hand in all of this, because their main motto, or the main motto of Akishigal's creed, is to bring low civilization by tearing it down to the same level as the poor and the destitute. And thus he asked Mel and Arahant to investigate the matter more in depth. Knowing that both Mel and Arahant are fugitives in Burke, remember that they were thrown into prison and did a prison break. So he gave them an address to a opulent house, a 3-story building, somewhere in the middle of the forest, which was a old friend of the Duke's, and told them that that person would be able to help them with their little predicament of being a fugitive. He also gave them a gem, purplish in color, that pulsated like a heartbeat, or pulsating as if it had a heartbeat or something like that. And said that it was both a sign that to the person they would go to, that they were agents from the Duke, and it would also be a kind of a payment or a sign that would make sense to that person. Using a carriage, they arrived at the building, as I said before, 3-story high, large, L-shaped, in the middle of the forest, and with several chimneys from which a lot of smoke was coming out. On knocking on the door, they were greeted by a horned devil with horns shaped in the form of an anvil and sporting a elvish-like pompadour. He introduced himself as Gemanea, the last commander of the caged Duke. For his friends, they may call him Jim. So Mel, who had the gem, produced the gem and showed it to Jim. Let's call him Jim for brevity's sake, and also easier to pronounce than Geminea. And recognizing the gem, he let them enter his house, went into his cellar, and came back with a humanoid-shaped construct. Placing the gem inside it, the construct sputtered to life and did a swiping attack towards Mel, which luckily had a timely warning from Arahant, who somehow foresaw the attack, and so he could jump back and avoid the hitting of a great club. After the construct calmed down, he introduced himself as Sherbot Doyle, and we learned that a long time ago he fought in the war in Tyrant's City, which is a part of Hell, and went down during one of those fights, being thrashed and ripped apart, which explained that his last action he saw was some kind of raging enemy, and so when he reactivated, he reacted on that last image. At least for him, it was its last image, and so also the last memory he had. Upon activating, Sherbot realized that he was manufactured with a new body, which was, to his great dismay, less powerful than his previous one. After that, Jim offered them also 3 scrolls of disguise self, which would help them in their investigation. Using the scroll, they would be able to take on another gaze, another form, another appearance, and go unnoticed. With that done, they returned to the Duke, where some arrangements between the Duke and Sherbet were made, and the party enjoyed the hospitality of the Duke again. Arahant had his dream again. This time it was different. He saw himself pushing a mine cart full of ore through the forest. From behind a tree, the same man that he has always seen in his former dreams sprung forth, weapons in hand, then started to peel off his face just to reveal the same face again, and then proceeded to stab himself twice to death. Arahant wakes up, freshens himself up, and resolves to go to breakfast, seeing that it was day. When preparing to leave, he saw a glimpse of the same stabbed man in the mirror. But it was only a glimpse. It was there for a second, and then it was gone. A bit perplexed from that, he left his room and encountered Mel in the hallway. And when they went together downstairs to breakfast, Mel looked at Arahant, pushed off his face, and revealed the face of the stabbed man. Upon which Arahant awakes a second time with a loud scream. Mel rushes towards his room, knocks on the door, but Arahant, thinking that he must be once again in the dream, starts to have a bout of paranoia. And after Mel tinkered with the lock and broke into the room, he saw Arahant that was preparing a firebolt. He managed to calm him down and to reassure him a bit that he was no longer dreaming. And with that, they went downstairs. They had a proper breakfast. And during breakfast, Arahant rethought of the dream and then finally managed to connect the dots together. The minecart with the ore refers to the mine they investigated several months ago when they went to a small village at the foot of a mountain range. In that mine, they found a priest, and the priest, or the face of the priest, was none other than the face that Arahant saw in his dream. And the priest was then given to the villagers to be to be sentenced, was put into jail, used magic to get out of the jail, and was then found murdered with 2 stab wounds through his body, leaning against the same tree that Arahant had, or that Arahant saw before in his dream, from behind which the person with the weapon sprang forth. although he connected the dots, he kept this information to himself for the moment. So only he knows about that connection. After the breakfast, they left the mansion, starting with their investigation of in the city of Berg, and using the disguise spell. By some with success, by others less so, because the spell had some strange shenanigans on it. The party assumed the likes of an elderly couple, having their bodyguard with them as a matter of security. Arahant became an old man using the name Leviticus. Mel became an old woman using the name Margaret and being the wife of Leviticus, whilst Sherbot took the guise of a strong-built man, going by the name of Shellrock. And thus they entered the city of Berg. I
Yes.
give the word to you, DM.
Yes. You managed to sneak back into the old city, and now you're in. What do you actually want to do?
Well, as much as it pains Mel to give up Abigail, I think that Sherbot needs to hold on to it so as an old lady's not walking around with a heavy crossbow. You'll just have to pass it to me if things go awry.
Sure, I can hold on to it for a while. Maybe we
There's-
can upgrade as well.
There was great hesitation on Mel's part of handing her over, but he understands that he has to make the guys foolproof. No tinkering, no touching. She's staying on your person unless I need her.
Arahant is patting reassuredly and a bit with comfort the shoulder of Mel, saying in an old man's voice, "Don't be worried, my dear. It will be all right."
Just get our business concluded then. Turn away and
You said that it had like a lot of like mechanical cogs on it, right?
there's some cogs and workings on it, yes.
All right.
Including the cog that he found in the air conditioning engine in the mansion of the Duke, which was causing the trouble with the air conditioning.
Yeah, I'm using that as a sprocket.
So, where shall we begin?
I think first we should check those guild houses they mentioned. See what ruffians are lounging about.
Yes, indeed. If they're asking questions, we can tell them that we are wealthy people willing to seek for some real estate or invest in some real estate.
I actually think it would be a very good idea as well to try to see if we can not find a spot for us to have as a temporary base of operations. Because
Mm.
I don't think your disguises, I mean your attire, will last forever.
There we got an hour, I think.
Only 1 hour. He whispers.
Yeah, you have explained that because Mel doesn't have any idea how the spell works.
Well, I can cast it again because I've written it in my. I've written it in my. Oh, copied it in my spell book. But can I actually use it on someone else?
It's literally called Disguise Self.
No. You know, suddenly, because I am an elderly man, the memory of Arahant, his intelligence is going a bit downhill, you know.
It seems it was a -1 in the first place.
I will have you, old man, my young man, I will have you, you will see. Got enough of this.
Sharp, sorry, Shellrock.
Damn it.
Shellrock's gonna just facepalm and say, you know, being your butler really doesn't have a lot of perks.
You're also our man-at-arms. You know, our brittle bones can't handle the great things that, again, those ruffians may approach upon us.
Indeed.
Don't worry. The worst case, I'll just ditch you. This is like, you know that this is more of a joking manner that he says that in.
Let's be away.
Okay.
Okay.
So we are looking. Arhant is asking here and there for the way to the guild houses, because I do not know that we stayed long enough in Berg to know every building. So
I think I would be able to suss them out pretty quickly, give my background. Being a former guild artisan myself.
Yeah, and you quickly know, and you, Mel, quickly, actually just basically remembers where they are. Because I think you were the... You might
I don't know if I
have had a
did it at...
reason.
Yes, I don't know if I worked at ones at Berg in particular, but I definitely traded or like interacted with some people while I was in the city and around it.
Exactly. So you find them relatively quickly, and they seem to be derelict and boarded up. Basically, the district that once was one of the more bustling districts now reminds you more of the slums.
Such a shame to see them in such a dilapidated state. These were the hearts of creation and craftsmanship.
yes, indeed.
Are there people around right now?
There might be from time to time be someone walking past, like on not parallel, like the opposite of parallel street. That's the street that crosses. How would you anyway?
The opposite street then.
I guess.
Can I would like to go into my backpack and put on my my old City Watch uniform.
Well,
As soon as I've put it on, I'd like to look at Arahant and Mel and be like, alright, got an idea here? You two stay here and pester me like you just bought the building and are finally trying to get in, while I use this to open the door and I pull out a crowbar.
Well, should we do it, Mel?
I don't see any other pertinent way. Time's ticking.
Indeed. What? What's it? What's this, young man? You are trying to break into a building that we just bought.
As I just said, and I'm just gonna start like trying to pry off the boards. As I said, senile man, I am just here to help you get in.
Don't damage the property. It's already in state of disrepair. It's going to take weeks before we can have it open and running again.
Yeah, indeed. It has cost us quite some money already.
Just like continuously try to pry off bits and pieces and try to just
yeah,
pick
give
up
me
the
an athletics check with advantage because you have a crowbar.
All right, athletics with advantage. Do I apply my proficiency bonus since it's technically a tool?
I think it's what the advantage is for the crowbar.
Oh, okay, yeah, never mind then.
It doesn't count as an artisan tool. I'm sorry.
Okay, I'm just gonna advantage athletics. Well, that sucks
Mm.
ass.
A 1 and a 2.
Huh.
After struggling for a bit, I'm just gonna like look around, and when nobody's around, I'm just gonna cast acid splash at the knights that hold it.
Yeah, so while you're trying for a while, there's actually there's actually a group of people coming by. Let's say it's just 4 relatively wealthy looking people who just come by and say, yeah, and one of them says, not all 5 at the same time, that would be weird.
They talk in unison.
So this was the place where I was working until recently. Hey, what are you guys doing over there?
I'm just gonna look at them and say, City Enforcer, this building has been temporarily sold to cover some costs for the here living head of state, so we are going to enter as these two have bought the place.
So, since when is the city guard run by whatever you are?
Oh! And I'm gonna put the crowbar down, cross my arms, and look at them. So we have a racist here, huh? You got a problem with me, mate? If you want, I can take you to the guard's garrison right now. I'm just gonna try to be as intimidating as I can be.
I guess we'll start off with a deception check.
Can we start with an intimidation check? I'm better at those.
Trying to bargaining with the
And,
DM.
what kind of disguise did you have with disguise self?
I didn't disguise. I don't think I
You
disguised.
put a hat on,
Oh, he
Yeah.
just put a hat on. Okay, good.
and then now has a guard outfit.
Okay, I was slightly afraid that I was misremembering things. Cool. That it is correct that I mean, you're literally not even made of flesh. Like, anyway, give me that deception check.
I know you might have a problem with that, but honestly, City Guard's budget's low. I'm just here for a while. Get used to it or get the fuck out.
Give
But
me an
by the way-
intimidation if you really want to do an intimidation.
With advantage? Some kind of a big
But-
fucking robot?
I could use my last Spartan die to. If the result is quite is low, I can.
Roll it.
Oh.
Let's see how it turns out.
Yes, indeed. Okay.
So,
You rolled a
slow
1, a 2,
improvement.
and a 3.
No, that's
Slow improvements.
No, that's a total of 16.
A 1, a 2, and a 3.
You're wrong. It's a total of 16.
Ah, so the intimidation was successful. Yeah, that's
Come on!
that's a very 16-16. Yes.
Come on, young man. Time is money. Open her up.
Indeed.
I'm gonna then
I-
just look at those people that walk by. Now, if you excuse me, I got a job to be done here. And I'm gonna just turn back to the building and continue prying things off.
Yeah, they are quickly scurrying off while one of them just yeah, says something about robots taking over our jobs.
Hey man, that's a future of human civilization. We will become an extinct species and replaced by mechanical ones.
Yeah, that's future us problem.
I
Yes,
don't
indeed.
think that's the NDU problem.
Nope. Could be.
Give me a week.
Okay.
So,
By the way, important question. Did you plan on just breaking into the house of the first guild you like come across, or did you go for a specific one?
I would have thought we
Uh,
were going for one that seemed to be like the most in disarray, like as if it had not been in use even before the guilds were closed. That was my hope. But I mean, Arahan and Mel decided that.
yeah, I mean, I don't know. I would know which is which. I just don't know which one we would lean towards. What we'd want to go for. What's the party consensus? Is there any particular crafts that we wanted it to be dedicated to, or did we want, like he said, they're already more
Well,
disused one?
if I remember correctly, the reports of the Duke stated that it all started with spoiled food, and that the first guild house or guild houses to be shut down were the mercantile ones, the ones who did who dabbled in produce, food, beverages, and things like that. So, and then I think that the rest followed. So I think it would be logical to first start with one that's
The culinary district.
yeah, indeed, because the thing that prompted the first shutdown was the selling of spoiled food. So
Sounds good to me.
Agreed.
Yeah.
well, here you have your answer, DM.
Put your back into it this time.
I would if I could!
Yes, so you break the door open, I think, with acid, as you said.
I'm just gonna I'm not trying to break the door open. You said that they were boarded, so I'm just gonna pry the boards off
Yeah.
first. And I just wanted to like make it a bit easier on me by acidifying the nails or whatever is holding it, so that it's easier for me to pry off.
Yes, because anyway, yes, you do. So, as the door opens, Alahan, give me a perception check. With disadvantage because it's dark. Wait, you're a half elf, aren't you?
No, I'm human, so
Okay.
it's with disadvantage.
We both humans here.
Damn those human
So I guess
eyes.
technically I'm a custom lineage because my stat spread.
Wait
line
until
up.
I'm a level 10 diviner wizard. Then I can see through the
Yeah.
entire multiverse. But for the time being, a perception with disadvantage, which
It went pretty well. Yeah.
well,
Better than
sometimes
3.
fate is kind.
Yes, yeah, you see nothing. It's just dark in there. Like, not nothing, but nothing immediately concerning.
Mm-hmm. Um, Arahant will look around himself, and with looking around, he means towards the back. because I suppose that we are looking into the inside of the building. So
Yeah.
he's looking back at his backside to see if they are currently alone. And are there other people in the streets or not?
You know, I'm wondering if there's a better way to do this than just with perception checks. Maybe actually with a wisdom save. Maybe that makes more sense. I'm not
With a
sure.
wisdom save,
Wisdom
okay.
save. Spicy.
Also with disadvantage?
No.
A 12.
Just for the briefest of moments, you swear that you could see the guy. You know the guy. That guy from your dream with because he has like a very distinct mustache. You swear you just saw him turn around a corner
Inside the building or alley
outside
behind?
while looking around, and
Okay.
Outside the
but
building.
very but basically immediately after you're like, nah, my mind's playing tricks on me.
I should have laid down the coffee this morning and taken the tea instead. My mind is playing tricks on me.
Mm.
You gonna see us inside there? Looking
Well,
Here, one sec. Let me help you out here a bit. Since you seem to be too incompetent to see in the dark, I'll just pick up a rock and use infuse item to make it glow a bit. It's not much light, but it's something.
well, the reason why Arhant was looking behind him to see if if there were not other people was to his staff has been disguised as a kind of a cane, and he was planning on casting a light on the cane, but if there are people around, it would be a bit strange to suddenly see a cane or the pommel of a cane flash with a bright flash of light for 20 feet.
No. Now, if we go ahead and go inside and then pop it up, no one should really pay much attention, especially if our guard friend is the last one inside. Or he might just stand outside. He may not even come inside with us.
Or we could go inside, close the door behind us, and then I could light up my
You
stuff.
want me to stay outside and keep watch, or do you want me to explore with you for now?
I just don't know if you'll be able to make a big enough spot to get yourself through while also keeping it closed up enough for us to not be found out with our light.
I think I disagree. I think I have a way of maybe notifying you if something's going on.
But no, I mean just like like people's vision be able to see the light. If the space is made open bigger to get you through, then the light would carry further back to people on the outside.
Mm.
Whereas if you're standing in front of it / otherwise blocking it, then it won't be much for anyone to really pay attention to. Was my thoughts.
If I've heard it correctly, didn't Adahan say he would make a light inside with a spell?
He's going to do it on his cane. It was people be able to see the cane as we're in there because it does
but
give
it
off.
gives you a signal to turn it off. That's my point.
Not if you're inside with us though, because then you wouldn't know.
That's what I'm saying. I should stay outside.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
Ah, okay. I didn't get it. Okay. So you don't need my glowy rock, correct?
No, he's got his own means. We just need to be away from prying eyes.
Okay, then I'll use the infusion to instead make damn it, not infusion. It's something else. It's magical tinkering. There we go.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
I'll instead make a
Like a little symbols monkey that will alert us if something's going wrong outside.
I have an idea. I'll touch the door to use it as the thing that is having the tinkering effect. And I want this to exactly like it says on here. Upon touching it, I want it to display like just an error sign from from Windows on the other side of the door whenever I touch the door.
Okay.
So you should be able to, whenever anything happens, I'll touch it and there should be an error sign.
Okay. Right, let's get in there. I won't have my crossbow, but I got a short sword. That'll be fine.
Yeah. So, um, the guild house is basically organized into like there's like the main hall. I guess it's more of a big square room, like meeting hall, which has adjacent rooms, three for each floor, like one in each cardinal direction that isn't the entrance. Arranged on like basically one room on each side that isn't the entrance. And then there's always small stairs that go to like wait, I do have it as a map. Why don't I just unmap it? Now I don't. Now I have to not accidentally do monsters from other encounters. Basically like this. And then that's always a door here, here, and here. And this thing basically also goes up like a stairwell in a way. So, and there's like 3 layers. And now I'm drawing into the GM info overlay instead of dragging things where I hit.
So it's a 3-story building.
Exactly. Why are you green? This should not be green. When did this turn green? I don't like it when things that shouldn't be green are green. But let's do it like this or something. That thing in the middle. And in the so
It's gold.
no, it's just supposed to be an indent, basically.
Hmm.
In the middle of the big hall, there's not perfectly circular, I guess, oval, like small pit, basically, or small indent, which is like the main distinguishing feature of the room.
Hmm.
While there only really is like reception and some furniture left in the room, at least at the first glance.
Mm-hmm. Well, Arahant will cast light on his staff, on the cane.
Then so we can actually see.
Yes, you are able to actually see. I said that. I said what I said. Expecting you to have already casted light. Yes.
Okay. Would you be so kind to, because I cannot, I do not. No. I retract what I was saying. My apologies.
I guess first creep up to this recess and look at it. Yeah.
Yes. Light radius. To the light
Yeah.
radius. But basically, that recess, looking into it, it's a hole, even, which is kind of weird because it's not. It isn't really dug into the floor. It's more like really the wooden planks of the floor warp themselves to form an indent, and the planks in the hole, or in the, it's not really a hole because it doesn't go through, in the indent, I guess,
Mhm.
have multiple thumb-sized holes.
The darker circle is the 20 feet of dim light.
Okay.
So dim light conditions are in effect here. And once we leave the golden colored radius. But Arahant will go a few steps closer.
So it's not fully through.
So it's an
That's
indent.
not.
Just an indent. Is it deep?
It's about it's like you would do. It's a little bit flatter than when you would cut a perfect sphere in half. So
Mel's gonna bend down and touch like the edge of the wood and stuff and try to get a feel of it and give it his working with wood and different structures. Does it feel like it's softer, or can he tell what's going on with it as far as texture wise?
um, it it seems damaged. Like but more in an old wood kind of way than in another kind of wood. What?
No, I was just seeing like possible like water damage or otherwise being soaked in something and it's causing it to warp. But you said it just seems old.
Yeah.
Strange.
So it seems as if the floor has been too long unkept and unattended, and that a part of the floor just caved in.
Are they complete boards that are all intact and old, or does it like somewhat segment on like the edges of it, like half and half of
Nope.
normal boards that we can see, or
They seem to be like intact boards. They're not necessarily segmented. Like they
No.
they are segmented, but the segments don't necessarily correspond to the edges of the pit.
As I say, it'd be weird if like half of it was super aged wood, but the other half is completely fine.
And is the circumference or the shape of the circumference round or oval shape as we see like here, or is it or are the borders, and I mean those things here, are they smooth or are they more broken up? I mean by that, do you have the same? Would it have the same quality as having a metal plate on which a bit of acid has been poured down and it ate away the metal? In that case, wood, so that it has a beautiful round round edge, if I may say, a smooth edge, or is it more like something that crashed down and splintered the floor, and so the shape would be not as smooth but more shattered and broken? Which one of the two is it? Smooth border or not?
It would be very much a smooth border.
Not smooth?
What's that about the border of the holes or the border of the indent?
The border of the indent.
That is smooth.
Does it look like something was formerly sitting on top of this place, but was moved?
Give me an investigation. You see what at some points or at some places in the wood there's actually what looks like blood splatters on the wooden boards.
How old does the blood look?
At least
Like the
multiple
start of the yard?
days.
Okay. Well, they did like to do their mounds of flesh. So possibly they had one of those going on here? That both the juices of that and the weight sitting there at one spot made the wood deform a bit?
Maybe. Well, maybe.
Which is great, because like I look like an old woman, but I'm talking like normal male now.
We suppose we're alone, so.
Does it look as if the blood trails off any particular direction from the indent, like it came from a different source?
It seems to like it came from a different source.
Like, okay, to put meat and stuff here, like drippings coming off of that meat.
Yeah,
Like a little
I
path
know.
along the wood.
There are drippings leading to the main door. But they are also some going up. I almost tried to ping this on OBS, which is not possible. But up these stairs.
Okay, so some from where we came from, and then some up those stairs.
Yeah.
Kind of like point them out. whatever was here, at least in some way, originated or was transported from here up those stairs.
Okay.
Being kind of like look for our hunt to follow and make my way around the warped wood because I don't want to step on that. Asking for it to fall under my feet.
Okay. Oh, wait a moment.
And then with his light, just looking at the different splatters and following him up the stairs.
Give me a perception check.
Damn.
Okay.
Only a 10.
I guess if our hunt is following, he can also do it.
Okay. Perception.
Yep.
Normal.
Normal, you have light. And it's bright.
Hey, nice.
Yeah. Where did I put those? There did I put those?
So the bloodstains, they seem to go towards the indent or away from the indent.
Not sure if we
How would you
Got it.
differentiate that?
Ah, okay.
like. If you're walking towards
it-
something, the blood spatters would fall behind you.
It's
So
it's a trail. It's a trail of bloodstains.
Yeah, so depending on which way the splatter goes, like hits and then splashes out, is the direction that it came from. Assuming you don't stop while moving the meat. But if you're moving in one like relatively consistent fashion, the way the blood would
It's
splatter.
moving
would be-
towards the end.
Okay. Yeah, so it would be coming
Yeah.
from.
Your
Stairs.
perception check, by the way,
Yes.
noticed a swarm of wasps that it's like... Wait, that is not an actual corner. Let's put it in the actual corner. That it's in the corner of... upstairs, basically upstairs in the corner below the topmost... balcony, or how you would call it. Wait, is that even an English word?
No.
I didn't recognize
balcony.
Balcony,
Yeah, balcony.
that's it. Ah,
I was like, alcove? Like, what we.
No.
Yes.
No, it's a balcony.
Yeah, I got
okay.
you.
Yeah. Between the, like, in the corner beneath the topmost balcony. Like,
In Dutch, it's called a balkon. Like that.
yeah.
We see them as we come up the stairs.
Well, Arahant will say to Mel, Mel, it must have been quite some time that the building has been derelict because a nest of wasps have already made their territory somewhere up high.
Do they look to be?
They look like wasps.
Well, I mean, do they look to act more intelligent than they should, like those other swarms of insects we've
Give
seen?
me a nature check.
Not great at these. Yeah.
Well, they just seem to be like a bunch of wasps just gathered there in the corner. Just basically forming in German you would call it a grape, but
Yeah. Okay.
basically the hanging, not an actual
A
nest.
wasp nest.
No, it's not an actual nest. It's just when you have Basically, when you have bees hanging on, when you have bees
yes,
gathering on a tree, they form like that shape without actually before
Yeah,
even doing anything.
I think it's in English it's called a grape,
I don't know.
a
I don't
bee
know bees
grape
that
or a
much.
wasp grape. Yes.
Like good wasps, a dead wasp. Fuck those things. Honeybees, chill as fuck. Bumblebees, chill as fuck. Fuck wasps.
I mean, we could talk about honeybees as a very destructive invasive species in most countries, but anyway.
At least they make something that's useful.
The bloodstains form a tray.
But basically that shape.
The trail was leaving the hole or going
The
towards
trail was going. Yeah, the trail was going towards the hole.
towards. Yeah.
Yeah, so it originated from up here. Does the trail seem to go towards where the wasps are, near where the wasps are?
No, they go even higher. The trail even
I guess
higher
we just,
than up north.
yeah, so I guess we just keep the wasps in mind and see if they do anything. But otherwise, just continue up the stairs.
Oh well, as long as we do not seem threatening to a hive, they have no reason to attack.
No, as far as we know. But
Well,
nature took us.
I'm coming from a rural society, so wasps and bees and ants and things like that were commonplace.
Fair. Continue on up then, following the trail.
So, on the topmost layer, the trail basically goes towards the north into that room. Like into the not really northern, but on our map northern room. Because I'm not sure if I.
So here's the stairs that come up.
Yeah,
Like up here, or just like
there where the door is, basically.
yeah, well, head inside that room, or at least on the outside of it, and look in. The door. Is there a door, and is it in the way?
There's a door, but it isn't like boarded or anything. It's an openable door.
There are Huns near me. I will open the door cautiously.
Is our hand near him?
Yes, but I'm also
Writing
taking
notes.
notes.
Okay, yeah. It was just a
So-
question if you were actually following him. But
yes, I am. But if
Yeah.
I seem somewhat absent-minded, it's only because I'm taking notes as we go on.
So that room has a total of 4 big metal vats.
Hmm.
And I
Uh,
guess
those vats, are they looking similar to the vats that we encountered in the mine several months ago, where we found a priest?
yes, but both of those were basically just undecorated metal vats, so
Mhm.
they have a tendency to be similar.
Yeah. Do they look like they have anything in them currently?
No, they are empty.
Does
So-
the blood trail lead up and into the vats?
Yes. What's also in the room, there's a table with there's a table with like I guess it's just paper lying there.
Get Arahan to come up near and give light to the table and look over and see if there's any notes or research notes or anything like that.
There's what you find there are a bunch of sheets of paper. Let's make it like 10 sheets of paper, like neatly put onto a pile with writing utensils next to them, and you can still, and you see like some, what you call it, just ink, like remnants of ink that have just slightly soaked through.
Okay, so there are 20 pieces of blank paper with some ink stains, effectively. But no actual writing on them.
Yeah, basically.
How deep are the vats?
They are. Most of them are deep enough to hold a medium creature.
Mm-hmm.
Though there are 2 of them that would be able to hold a large creature.
And the papers with the ink stains lay on the bottom of those vats.
Yes.
Well, Arahant
No,
will...
the not on on a table.
Yeah, what's that?
Ah,
They're on the table.
They're on
Yeah.
the table. Okay.
What?
Well, Arahant will look at the paper and go through it to see if it's only ink stains or if it is there something written on it, or are they just blank pages, blank sheets of paper with some ink stains.
That's what I got. They were blank and just had some ink
Yeah.
stains.
Ah, okay. I didn't caught that. My apologies.
you good.
They are. It's not ink stains like it's ink blots. It's more like
Faded ink.
someone has written in the page above it. And there are like some.
Ah, yeah.
Oh, like some bleed through. Yeah,
Yeah,
gotcha.
indeed.
So yeah, whatever was on top, we don't know where it's at.
No, indeed.
But if we had a piece of charcoal or something, we might be able to make like an etching on it. Kind of like figure out what they wrote a little bit better. Which I don't think I have anything like that, but those aren't too hard to come by. Yeah. Do you have a way to safely store papers for us to mess with later?
Yes, I do. I have my my how do you call it? It's not a back.
Scroll
It's
case.
not a backpack. No, it's a how do you call it? A shoulder bag.
Sling bag?
We just don't want them to get crumpled up because that could mess with our etchings. That's why
Okay.
I don't think I have.
He will put those papers neatly in his bag. Because of his
Yeah, I mean,
bag,
honestly, you could put it in your like near your spell book, like maybe on like the first page, like the cover and the page.
well, part of his background gives him writing utensils and pieces of parchment. So I suppose that there will also be some kind of a map case or something like that where they can.
Does that come with like a little piece of charcoal or something like that?
Let's see. There is a small pen knife, and he has also a bit of a few blocks of ink.
Blocks of ink.
Well, I mean the ink is in a kind of ingots. You have a kind of ingots of pigment
Okay.
that you can use the pen knife to sharp,
Okay.
and then you put the powder in from that little block into a little bowl. You put a bit of water in it or some oil, depending, and then you mix it and you have ink, and then you also have quills and pens and things like
Okay.
that. So those are all the things that he has in his from his background, which is a cloistered scholar.
I mean, worst case, I can make like a little thing of charcoal.
He's also good
wood.
in libraries. But that's not the case.
I was looking at these equipment packs, see if any started with it. Get an idea of them.
But yes, Arahant would have something, some way to store the paper and with his pieces of parchment to keep them straight and neat.
Alright. Yeah, because like I said, my idea is to do a little thing with like charcoal, like a charcoal stick.
Mhm.
Kind of get an idea of what they wrote. But otherwise, there's just the vats and the table with the papers. There's nothing else in this room.
No.
And how many vats was it total? So there's 2 for large.
Make it 7.
Okay. So 2 for large and then 5 regular vats.
Yep.
Okay. Okay. Well, I guess looking back outside the door across the balcony, is there also another room over here?
Yes. There's basically this side, and this side. There's rooms.
I didn't see where you pointed, or I didn't see a cursor.
But I'm pinging. Shouldn't you be able to see that? Oh, I'm pinging into the GM layer because I'm an idiot. Okay. That's like such an unnecessary feature. But yeah, those 3.
Okay. So in all the cardinal directions but south. Gotcha.
Basically all the ones except the entrance.
Yeah, let's just head northeast and go to the next one.
Wait, the entrance is on the south side?
Yes, it's on the side without the balcony.
So we just moved our characters a little bit wrong at the beginning, but it's okay.
Oh yeah, I did. Oh! The main entrance door is still in the GM layer.
That explains it. Yes, it means
That
you're out
makes
here.
it look more entrancey, yes.
Yeah. It means you're just chilling like right here. Okay. Yeah, just head to the north one. Check in this corner to see if there's any wasps doing their thing there too. So we're not walking right under them.
Yeah, give me a perception check.
Are you sure you guys don't want any help?
No
It's losing.
wasps. You don't see any wasps.
Head towards this room then.
What I meant by my by those blocks, I will put it in our wait a minute. Where is it? Here. Yes, upload file. Do you see it?
I see you typing. I don't see
Yeah,
the picture.
it's probably still like uploading the picture.
Hmm.
It's in the ether. It looks like a fucking pineapple.
Yeah, except it's bees.
Yeah. Just take a bite. Mmm, delicious. Your lips are swelling up. I've had the misfortune of drinking a fruit drink that I'd left on the floor and didn't notice it, and drank a nice bottom bit filled with ants. So that was fun.
Ah, yes, and flavor.
Mm.
Spicy fruit.
I mean, thankfully the majority of them have drowned, so they were mostly dead ants. But there's a few lively ones.
That's what I meant with those little blocks of ink pigment.
Ah, I got you.
And back in the Middle Ages, they used a small knife to scrape it in a bowl, and then putting some water on it, or oil, depending on if you wanted to have a more oily surface. They also used the same techniques on oil paintings later on in the Renaissance. And the Japanese, today as well as in the past, use the same things to make their ink for their calligraphy, using those blocks, scraping it off, putting some water, and then they had ink that they could use. So those are the blocks of ink that Arhant has in his as part of his writing set.
Yeah, I mean, it also seems like a better way to not just get ink everywhere, like because they're.
Indeed.
But yeah, with Arhant's light, I will check this door out as well. And as far as outside the building is concerned, or thing, Arhant, the other way.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, as far as the outside's concerned, what does old Sherbot see?
That just sometimes with like at a small, like at a distance, there's people walking by, but no one really closely investigating the building. But still give me a perception check.
All right. 1 sec. Perception. There we go.
Okay, yeah,
You got a
no
4
one.
now. You're slowly going up.
Did I literally roll 1, then a 2, then a 3, and now a 4?
Yep. You're almost there. Just a few more
I
tries.
can no
you'll
longer
get back
help
to
you.
average.
You know, I know I'm a construct, but that doesn't mean to be this much older and... Fucking hell. I should change my name to Sherbot Countula.
So
You're just calibrating right now. You're calibrating your new form. It just takes a little bit.
First
So-
fuck seems like that.
so
But
you
I do have danger sense, so...
you somehow managed to cast like half the pendulum spell in real life. Only like skipping the high numbers in between. But yeah. So the room in the north was the one where you just were.
Thought we were in the one the west.
Where
We
but
were
when
here.
you originally you were literally standing there though. And then you moved away back to here. And now you've moved back up.
We've not been standing here. may have been intended for like the layout of it, because we were initially over here because it's where we thought the entrance was. Then we saw the thing, then we went over here up the stairs, then into this room. Was what we thought.
Sadly, I can't scroll back on a screen that's still live, but I could have sworn your characters, while you were looking at the vats, were standing up here on the north side.
No, we were.
They were definitely
the whole
over
time
here.
Yes.
They
Yeah.
were definitely on the west.
No,
Yeah, I
we
don't
just
think
moved
so.
up here. Like that, if we got discombobulated, we'll go to the other room we haven't been to, wherever that would be.
Oh! I was actually... I understand
It
what
was
I
also-
saw
It
now.
was also on the DM layer.
I actually saw a Sherbot standing in basically standing in the room up north, and thought that was Mel because I'm very fast scrolled out.
That is
Okay.
bad.
Okay, yeah, it was supposed to be the room up north. First,
That was supposed to be the vat room.
yeah.
Okay, then we will go to the west room to check it out.
Yes, you look into the west room and
Please tell me the west room is a restroom.
you're immediately, or not really immediately, but it's still kinda in your face. You see the skeletal face of a dragon.
Ah, well, that's not good.
Ah. Well, Mel, this doesn't seem like quite healthy.
What size dragon is it?
Large.
Would Arahant have any idea of what this thing would be?
It's just bones, but you can try. Give me a.
Arcana, probably.
I'm currently
Dragons.
wondering if it.
Because like there are certain dragons that have different skeletal structures.
Yeah, but
Like-
I think that would still be regarding their nature and not their magical attributes. So I would call
That's
for
fair.
a nature check.
That's fair.
Mhm. Nature, okay. Here we go. Where is nature? Under the N, of course.
Yeah, it's fairly obvious. While I mentioned Dragon Skull, looking at the rest of the body and just the size, it seems to be the skeleton of a wyvern, not an actual true dragon.
Okay.
And here I was scared of a Draco Lich.
There just is no token for a dragon skeleton that isn't alive, though.
Well, Arahant will say, that's quite interesting. It's a skeleton of a wyvern.
But wyverns have like nasty ass poison though, or venom.
Well, yes, they have a tail that ends in a
They-
stinger. That's
Yeah.
true, but
okay. Out of character, they literally fight for dominance with each other by spraying each other with venom to try to get the one to fall out of the sky. They don't want to actually hurt each other, but they just do a weird fucking jousting match with venom
The
to
thing
mark the other
about
one.
that thing about the venom with when they fight each other is they are technically immune to it, but each wyvern's venom smells slightly different, and they hate each other's venom smell.
Yep. They literally mark the other one to get them to piss off. This is my territory.
Is that like two dogs pissing on each other?
Yes,
Something like that, yes.
Because I know if they actually attacked each other with claws and stuff, they could give
You
themselves
imagine
for
that
survival.
just fighting everywhere worked. Just like Russia and Ukraine running towards each other and just wheeze out and peeing on each other.
That would be an interesting strategy, to say the least.
I mean, that would be like one of the ways to do it in the future, you know?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely an option. I'm not saying it's our first option or even our 22nd, but it's an option. It's there. The far back burner.
You know, I think Sun Tzu put it best in The Art of War. Just piss on them. So the postal dude did have a point, it seems.
I mean,
Okay,
contaminating spikes and other traps with
Wait.
like fecal matter was a thing.
we're getting trapped in memes right now. Do you guys think we should maybe take our break? Because it has also already been like 1.5 hours by now.
Damn, I didn't realize it's been that
Fine
far.
with that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
then break now. Oh yeah, camera. Now I'm Maurice. Camera. No, I'm not Maurice.
I knew you always wanted to be me.
Yes, exactly.
You were
Secrets to tell.
jealous. I knew it.
Or maybe it's not that I wanted to be more like you, but just that I wanted to be less like myself.
You know, I'm a quite special person, so everyone who's less themselves is more like me.
That's not how that works.
I am the Alpha and the Omega.
Okay.
And I have too big an ego to consider myself or wanting to be someone else. So
Can't be myself. Back to the wyvern corpse.
yes,
Yeah,
indeed.
that's the wyvern skeleton.
Okay.
Are we back in
Yes.
stream?
Yes.
Ah, okay. Hello, stream.
Is there any?
Arahant would like to, by seeing the skeleton, is the skeleton picked clean? So are there clean bones, or are there still pieces of
They are clean
flesh and
bones.
picked clean?
Yep.
Oh. More like something they would put a skeleton on display in a lesson of anatomy and things like that.
Yeah.
Do the bones look like they were cleaned off by like a blade, or they look like something was like chewing on them?
You don't see any blade marks.
What about gnaw marks?
Also none.
Mm.
Would it have would it would it have been treated
Blowed
in
off.
some way or kind
Sloughed
to
off.
have been stripped clean?
Because I mean, I guess if you get a corpse like wet or like waterlogged, eventually it will just the flesh will just kind of fall off of it. It's not pretty or smells good at all, but
You could also use some low level caustic agent.
Mhm.
You could also put yogurt in the butt. That helps decomposition.
Um,
Don't
But
question that.
technic-
Purion,
maybe,
Purion.
maybe technically, but please don't. Um,
procure yogurt. Okay. Is the
No good remedies.
is the skeleton in a vat itself, or is it just hanging?
Clean.
um,
Are there vats in here? I guess could have been. another
it's
question.
just hanging. There are no bats in there.
Okay. Is it a whole skeleton?
It is.
Making this weirder. How'd they
Just
get
a
this?
little theory here that you would have no idea of knowing, but just an idea. Could this maybe be like some sort of actual like undead wyvern that just gets activated upon a certain trigger? So I just recommend being careful in that room for anything that might
Well,
be of high value.
My next suggestion was that Arahant would cast detect magic.
I mean, I'd have no way to know that because I don't fucking know magic, anyways. I only think Mel barely knows what dragons are, other than like mythos. So even less so would know what a wyvern is.
I mean, you saw a wyvern once.
When?
The circus?
Was there a wyvern in that?
Yes,
Yes,
indeed.
there was a wyvern on the circus.
Oh, okay. Then I guess I do have more of an understanding of it than I thought.
That was the main act.
Yep, my bad. I forgot about that.
I wrote it down in the synopsis. So
Yeah, I must have skimmed over it. 'Cause I did not get that at all.
DM.
Yep.
I will first see what it does. For the duration, if there is an aberration, celestial, elemental, fey, fiend, or undead within 30 feet of you, as well as where the creature is located. Similarly, if there is a place or object within 30 feet of you that has been magically consecrated or desecrated. The spell can penetrate most barriers, but it is blocked by 1 foot of stone, 1 inch of common metal, a thin sheet of lead, or 3 feet of wood or dirt. And he will cast detect evil and good. Its concentration and lasts for 10 minutes.
Yes. Yes, there is an undead in the room with you, and it looks to be that dragon.
And you see Arhant starting to mutter something. I will see if there are components to it, verbal and somatic. He mutters something and makes a little hand gesture, and you see that his eyes start to glow with a bluish white glow. You've already noticed in the past that he's using some kind of detection type of magic, and then you see that his expression becomes concerned, and he starts to go a few steps backwards, whispering to Mel, "It's undead. Has to back off."
Follow his lead and do so. Not off the balcony though. 'Cause
You don't want to jump off the balcony?
fuck this, guys. I'm out. No, I guess we'll leave that.
We are close to the stairs, so we can go a few stairs down and see if it follows.
There. Because we also have the other room on the east side to check out.
That we can do, yes.
So we want to go around to it. since
Give
we've
me
already
another
checked the-
perception check.
Who?
Both of you. I mean, you kind of just left the room. You're standing right next to each other. So.
Perception.
Yeah, Mel, you saw something moving in the indent.
In the indent?
Yeah, like something small just hushing. Is hushing a word for moving? I don't know. It now is.
What kind of movement is it doing?
It's just something small that just skittering. That's a better word.
Yes,
Something small skittering. Skittering around the indent or skittering out of the indent?
Um,
Or was it
in and
too much?
out.
Okay. Okay. We're gonna call Aron's attention to that and looking at it while as I make my way around. I guess I'll stop here first, get a better vantage point looking down at it before continuing east.
Okay, well, in that case, a shame that. Well, yeah, it's quite easy. We just have to put 10 blocks. So Arahant will gingerly follow up. The yellow circle is 20 feet, so if we put 10 feet, we would be, the radius of detect magic would be somewhere here.
I mean, detect evil.
Yeah, detect evil and good.
Yeah.
Does it pings or not?
Wait, you said it does it actually reach the yellow circle?
Yes. No. The yellow circle is my light. Is
No,
the bright light.
I mean, does it
20
actually
feet.
reach the indent? Or
How
Yes.
high up are we?
I will change it. I will shortly change it to 30 feet, just to follow.
I guess I'll also make the aura generally visible.
6, I can't see it.
Boom.
Damn, son.
But it would visually it would still be in the dim radius, in the dim light radius, but my detect magic, my detect evil and good would go up to here, to the border of the yellow orange disc.
Okay. No, you don't detect anything there. But down there, Mel, now concentrating on it, you're pretty sure that you see like you repeatedly see like tiny creatures just from the holes in the indent that I mentioned, those thumb-sized holes, just basically skittering from one to one hole and then disappearing again.
Do they happen to look like termites?
Kinda hard to see from here in dim light.
Nah, fair.
They definitely don't look like roaches, I assume.
Fun fact, technically termites are roaches.
Yeah,
Or at least very, very closely related.
just label all the annoying ass ones. They're all roaches. I guess since we can't really discern much from that, just go to this east door so we can check it out, and then fate's willing rendezvous with Sherbot.
Yeah. Yeah, on the to the east, there's yet again a room, and there actually is a table underneath which there's a note.
And does my evil and good detects something or not?
No.
No. Okay.
Pick up the note and check it out.
The note in common reads shopping list. 1 wyvern, 20 wolves. 5 of those cold wolves of those freaky white wolves. At least 20 people.
It just got worse as it went on.
I mean, that does sound like a typical shopping list for an American going to Walmart. Besides the wyvern, of course.
I don't know what country is known most for its cannibalistic people. Like, who's had the most like found out and like imprisoned or done with?
I know there was like some president of which African state was not a president, actual dictator, but
Oh
yeah,
yeah, 'cause it's a big trade net. Yeah, because
Yeah,
it's
indeed. How he
like
was
seen
called.
for good health or whatever to eat human organs.
no, I was just talking about a specific guy who was like, who I think his doctor was like, basically after he was overthrown, just talking to the press about how he would just eat people.
I mean, Fiji's kind of known for cannibalism.
Because I know there was a Russian couple that did.
There's this one Hitler-looking guy from Germany that was a cannibal who was quite famous for it.
Yeah. Then there was some old lady. I don't remember where she was from though.
Yeah.
Her
Well,
grandpa.
you had a in Central Africa you had Bokassa, who did had who I think he crowned himself emperor, and he had a pool of crocodiles in which he could throw his victims and political enemies.
I think
No.
in Switzerland there
So-
was
so-
actually, I think in
Oh.
Switzerland there was actually like a cooking show where they for some reason decided to do a cooking show with human meat.
What?
I'm just gonna remind you that there was a big news story about quote-unquote Kinderschnitzel.
That was like that was like deliberately the theme of that show, where the people cooking would have like surgically, like would have basically a piece of prime meat surgically removed from their back, and the other guy was supposed to like prepare it in a way that the other one would, the one from whom the meat stems, would find it like tasty.
So you cooked parts of your competitors to make them eat themselves.
Yeah,
I mean,
That's pretty metal, though. I think I feel like I'd watch that show.
would be
just-
a problem if one of if the person was obese, so you just have to cut more and more out so they're saturated.
Just
I have to
morbid
say that
curiosity.
I have to say that the shows in Belgium, as far as I can remember, were not as violent.
And I think there was a
As,
Japanese dude that ate people too.
I mean, there's a lot of people who ate people.
Yeah.
Generally.
Well, there was literally the two guys like on fucking Craigslist. The one guy wanted to have himself eaten, and the one guy wanted to eat a person. So they just hooked up and like, yeah, just fucking eat me. And they took turns. Like the one guy would cut off pieces off the other guy, cook it up, and they would both eat it until the one guy obviously died from blood loss.
Yeah.
It's fucking wild. He got charged with murder, but it's like, is it murder? The dude literally filled out a contract and like consented to being eaten. I don't know. That's a
Okay.
gray area.
So, the shopping list.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's basically the contents of the shopping list.
I mean, obviously some bad stuff was afoot. But if there's nothing else in this room, excuse me, head down the stairs, cautiously looking at the indent to try to better ascertain what was moving around there, but otherwise making our way back towards Sherbot.
Yeah, the skittering. Looking at it more closely. Basically, when you come down again, the skittering has stopped.
Has the indent itself changed any? Has it deformed more, or
The holes seem to have been filled out. Not seem to. They are filled out. I guess it could
holes-
be an illusion if you don't poke your finger at it. So let's stick with they seem to.
So all the holes that we saw before are now filled.
Yup.
That's weird. Is Arhan detecting anything with his field?
With his detect evil and good.
Mm.
You might. Yes, for like a brief moment, you detect. You do know the type, right? Yes. You detect. But you would just know fiend, not demon or devil.
No,
Because
it
the
would be
type just
fiend.
fiend. Yeah. So you
Mhm.
detect. You would for a brief moment detect a fiend a fiend way below the indent, and then basically disappear downward.
Kept
Mhm.
going down. Okay.
Okay. Well, Arhant will point that out. I did sense, well, the in the indent a fiendish presence, but then it dissipated as if it was burrowing itself deeper.
So we need to find some way to get further down to investigate it.
And maybe we should get some muscle and
Either
have
we
our constructed companion join us, because
there
we
was
might
no
need to.
way there was no way naturally down from here, was there? Or did these stairs go down?
There was no way naturally down. No.
Okay.
By the
so
way,
either-
Sherbot can give me another perception.
yeah, so either we gotta go through this indent or find another adjacent guild hall or something that may let us go down. May not have hurt you.
Yeah, I said Sherbot can give me another perception.
Sorry, I did not hear my name being called out.
Hey, nice.
Hey, finally! Not a six!
You broke the mold for now.
I guess I am like a Muppet character. I can only count to 4.
Yes. Just like that one Psycho Stick song. Anyway, oh, you see, basically on the other side of the building. So, in regards of this map towards the north,
Mm-hmm.
you see a very big bird fly away. Or a very big bird-like shape. And you're pretty sure there's someone sitting on top of it.
Immediately as I see it, I hit the door so the thing, so there's now an error message on the other side.
The door now says error.
I mean, as soon as we notice it, I guess head towards the door.
Okay.
What's going on out there?
You guys didn't see some big-looking bird with a person on it and drove them away, did you?
No, we did found a skeleton of an undead wyvern and some insects that were skittering through the hole, patching it up. And there was also some kind of fiend in the hole, but it was furtively, and then it was gone. But someone sitting on a large bird, no.
Yeah, we need to get deeper to track whatever this fiend was that we detected at the bottom of that indent.
Yeah. And maybe we
Yeah.
were detected by something. Maybe we were detected by something that by that person on the giant bird.
No.
Quick question to the Senpai. Could it have been that whatever I saw flying away could have been the wyvern skeleton? Is that a possibility, or was it definitely something else?
Now that you hear Arahan talking about it, yeah, the bird looks pretty weird. Like from it could quite well have been a skeleton.
Um, can you show me where you found that skeleton?
Sure.
Yes, of course.
All right,
Why?
and then I shall follow the two of you.
Give me a perception check on your way to the room.
A perception check.
You actually you not. Just the other two.
There's my low roll.
Racist against robots.
Exactly. I mean, you can also give me one, but yeah.
There you go. Fucking, I'm back on topic.
Yeah. So while going back, please tell me it's a 5. No, it's a 6.
But the 5 was the 18, right?
Ah, yes, obviously, obviously.
It's like a worse version of the pendulum spell.
Yeah. So our hand. So basically, no one sees anything, but our hand is the only one that realizes that there's something missing, and that would be the wasps in the corner.
Oh well. You know that you know that grape of wasps I saw.
Yeah, what
They're
about them?
gone. They're gone.
I mean, this wasp might have got bored with whatever they were doing, went back to their nest.
Yeah, but it was quite a swarm, so should have heard something when they flew away, buzzing away.
Yeah, and going to the wyvern room, it is suspiciously lacking wyverns.
It's just right here. How would we miss something that big getting out of here?
Window is also open.
Arahant will point to the window, maybe through
Like
that.
actually big double window, not like not like a small window like my room
It just squeezes its way through
would
there.
basically where I would barely get through.
No. I mean, I guess take a step inside. Is there anything in this room now that the wyvern's gone?
Give me an investigation.
And I ate him with that, by the way.
You would have been able to, but he succeeded anyway, so who cares?
Okay.
So you do find hanging on the window frame a torn off piece of cloth.
Okay. Take the cloth. What does it look like?
It like pulling on it. It's actually not as tiny as it looks. It was just basically caught up on a nail in the window frame, and most of it was hanging out. And it looks like a coat of arms. It is a coat of arms.
Mm-hmm. And
And what
who's in
does it
particular?
represent? The coat of arms.
Uh, it it indicates a local guard.
So it's the coat of arms of Berg, or the city guard of Berg.
Basically, Berg and the surrounding regions that also
Mhm.
governs.
Yeah.
Actually, City Guard might even look different from like outside the guards outside. It actually is a uniform from a guard of the surrounding, from one of the surrounding villages, not of Berg itself.
Also, it's from outside. A bird.
Damn outsiders stealing our wagons.
No, I guess fold it up and put it in one of our packs, and we'll try to figure out more about it later, where its
Are
origin
you
is.
sure you want to take that with you? Because, like, honestly thinking, it seems a bit stupid to leave something like that behind. So maybe they were trying to leave it behind intentionally for one of us to find so they can track us by scent.
I don't think a skeleton's thinking that far ahead.
I saw someone writing that thing. Maybe that person is smart enough to think that.
Oh yeah, just so all the unclarities, just to clear up,
Clarify.
just to clarify, um, the coat of arms is actually looks to be torn off of someone, not just disrobed.
Torn
Oh yeah,
off.
I assume so.
Yeah.
But still, it would be kind of stupid to make an escape and then get stuck on a fucking nail.
Yeah, stranger things have happened. There's a guy that
It
fell in a
would-
volcano and landed on the one ledge that would have saved him, and he lived because of it. Passed out.
I had a similar story one day. Some guys like traveling all over the world.
I feel like we really need to stop this.
Yes, indeed.
Okay.
But
It would.
Would the whole thing would 10 minutes have been passed by now or not?
Oh, they would have been passed.
Okay.
I assume an hour has passed too, so they're back to their normal selves.
Yeah, I would say by now you're back to your normal selves.
Okay. Well, in that case, when the light goes out, Arahant will recast the light on the top of his staff, which is now his staff again.
I will procure my crossbow back from Sherbot.
Sherbert will have definitely, like, just to trigger you, slightly tightened one of the cogs that was, like, kind of used up from shooting. Just, like, slightly tighten it.
I'll notice it on like when I inspect her whenever I'm doing some oiling and such during a rest. But for
like,
now,
it should be just enough so that it's like, I might have done this myself. Like, Sherbert's kind of trying to gaslight you a bit.
Yeah. Yeah. Right now, I wouldn't notice it, but they said upon closer detailing, I don't remember having a Titan like that, but I guess I had a reason.
Yeah. So, what are you guys doing now?
What is the immediate what's the word I'm looking for? The next guild hall or whatever right next to us. Adjacent, that's what I'm looking for. Immediately adjacent to us.
Immediately adjacent. The Jeweler's Guild.
Ooh, that's perfect.
Um,
Trying to think which would have more natural access to like going
a-
down.
a little question for our GM.
Mm-hmm.
When the Duke showcased the several bits of paper or parchment parchment on which those reports were with the mayor closing down the several guild houses. Was there an order on it or not? Or was it just selling spoiled food, closing the guild halls, the guild hall of the
It was
that did the food,
basically
then the other.
it was basically just news reports. So it was basically starting with the spoiled food and closing down that guild, and then it basically continued on with
The
like
other,
yeah.
without naming them in a specific order, just saying
No.
first the food guild, then the other guilds.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so you'd assume the food guild, and then from that would be like the more commerce, just the ones actually managing money and such, and from that the other ones got messed with too. Or I guess the trading guild, and then that would get to the commerce guild, and that would affect everything else. Because once trade gets stopped, then you can't trade any goods. But I'm trying to think. Either the smiths would probably have the most ready access to possibly going below the earth if they have like their own deposits, or if they have different infrastructure down there to be able to get us below and possibly to where that creature went off to, or that source of fiendish nature that you detected.
The source of fiend.
This also fiend.
Yeah, so whichever guild I think, I mean, I guess technically the money one could too, because they could have like a coffer that is stored below. Yeah, whatever guild I would think would have more ready access to some underground element.
A banking guild.
Yeah, like the ones that actually handle the money. They would connect to the other guilds, but they wouldn't necessarily be the ones with product.
You. Why would they have access to like the underground?
If they had somewhere like they stored their money, like if they had a bank itself, like a underground coffer sort of deal.
A safe,
Yeah.
but that is built into the ground instead
Yeah.
on the surface. Yeah.
Yeah, that was my thoughts. They say if it's not them, then it'd be probably whatever has to do with the mining. One of those two
Alright,
would.
are we looking for actual like sellers in their buildings? Or are we looking for digging implements?
Anywhere that would have already started going underground to some degree.
Ah, okay. So the one that have the deepest cellar would probably be the... How is the word called? Please help me Google, that's the wrong browser.
The what? The?
That's the wrong browser. I just changed what Stream sees for a brief second. Wait. It's literally just called Winemaker. Okay, that's pretty boring.
Yeah,
I
I mean, I
thought
guess
there
that
would
makes
be
sense. They'd want to put it in a deep, cool place. Especially since you can't really artificially create those in this age as readily as we can.
Write this word up now. Stop being.
We got air
slow.
conditioning. We can actually change the temperature if we want to.
Mhm. Yeah, they have a pretty deep cellar.
Then that's the one we'll go for.
Although, to your disappointment, all the booze has already been either, taken away or stolen.
Yeah, I figured they sold off what they could, and then whatever was left was picked up by any people breaking in there. Ooh, free booze.
Le boost de frais.
Yep, then that's where I say we go. And I'll mention that to them.
Sounds good to me.
Mm-hmm.
But shit, I mean, now that all the guilds are closed, the chances of me being able to buy something is quite low, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that, or it'll be like a crazy markup price.
You guys,
Scalpers be scalping.
you guys don't happen to have any gems or the like on you, right?
Unfortunately, not no, because I would like to get my hand on a pearl and a diamond, because they are essential components for some spells I can cast, but or that I know how to cast, but that I can because I do not have those components.
Oh, nothing I see.
So if I had those, I would keep those.
I mean, I would have bought them off of you. That's not the issue. Wait.
No, but then I would no longer be able to use my spells.
Oh, I can return them to you whenever. Like it's not a used up thing for me.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
unfortunately, I do not have them. I don't have a pearl worth of 100 gold pieces and a diamond worth of.
I thought we got the pearl when we were at the lake. Or did we talk about getting the pearl? Never got
I
one.
think you talked about getting the pearl and then didn't get it.
Yeah,
Also, I
and
love
indeed.
how it looks like Lodric has a speech bubble above his head. Just
This is correct. Yes.
That
yeah,
that here.
yeah.
No, keep it there. I can use it in editing.
Okay.
I'll just never put any subtitles, but for you they'll be there.
If you want to go through that effort, do it.
Oh no, I definitely don't.
Okay.
Maybe for the highlights, but talking about highlights, you need to get your S together with the subreddit.
Wow. Like what a...
We can't post images.
Yeah,
That's
I don't
mean.
know. Like, I turned it on, I don't know why it still doesn't work.
Well, you're just a meme person. I get it. Don't worry.
Like, I also don't want to need to approve all memes posted by hand. That is not a good feature. Anyway, let's continue onwards. Wine cellar.
Yeah. Can we? Okay. What are medieval torches made of? Like the part that actually burns. What do they make the actual burning part of it?
Usually it's like rope drenched in burning oil.
Would be more like cloth, but
Yeah, so it wouldn't give me the. Yeah, never mind. Do you have any like compartments in you, Sherbot, that you could have stuff burning inside of you and it not affect you at all? Because I would like to make some charcoal to then be able to use to etch on those papers that we got. But I don't want to be walking around with an open fire while we're trying to be somewhat covert.
I mean, remember that bag I gave you? There's like if you close it, there's no air inside it anymore. If you put wood in there that's burning, and then close the bag in like 15 minutes, all of the air should run out, and it should be charcoal at that point.
But it had to burn for a minute though before, because if you just take away all the oxygen, then it would just put out the fire.
I will disappear for only a moment, but I am still in the room, so I will be able to hear anything you're saying. But I'm going to close my windows because mosquitoes are starting to enter.
But yeah, I think it like you could just have it burn for like 15 minutes in the bag and scrape off whatever charcoal you need from it.
I didn't think if it getting the air taken from it that it would burn enough to be charcoal. It would just be slightly burnt wood.
I mean, you do make charcoal by taking away the oxygen at some point.
Yes, but it has to have burned for a little while.
Just keep the bag open for a while.
So we are going to the winery?
Yeah.
We can just hold it I can just hold it open while we walk, and then whenever we get to where we're going, I can just close it, and 15 minutes later we have it.
Work. I always have some little wood on me, so.
Of course.
Which does remind me, Arahant?
Mm-hmm.
I might have something better for you than what I gave you previously.
Which was the
Also, though, that wand.
yeah the one to detect secret doors.
No, I thought I gave you the bag of holding as well.
Yes, indeed.
I have something else I could give you. It's called a mind sharpener. It's a suit of armor or robes that that is an infused item that can send a jolt to the wearer to refocus their mind. Mechanically, it just means when the wearer fails a Constitution saving throw to maintain concentration on a spell, the wearer can use its reaction to expend one of the 4 charges of the item to succeed instead.
Yeah, then you restore charges at dawn.
Well,
yeah, 1d4 put on.
In that case, if we did this or did that this morning, or in the morning, Arahant would have readily given off his wizard robes.
Oh, and well, we can only do that like tonight. I can do that.
Okay.
Just mentioning it to you so I don't forget.
Okay.
Because I will forget, but you have the brain of a elephant.
I was gonna say he doesn't forgot. Like, it's in player and character. I'll grab my trash can. What's it for?
So, the plan is to make wood while going over to the Winemakers Guild.
Yep, making some charcoal in a bag of holding.
What are the chances of us actually running into something? Because if it's not that high, I would love to like go to if there is some sort of marketplace. Even if it's a scalper, I really need that gem.
Do you want to go to the marketplace carrying a burning bag? Or but not a burning bag, but like
Like giving
basically
out
a smoke signal.
That smoke is coming out of.
Nah, yeah, probably not. Especially because me and our Hans are fugitives, technically, so we don't really want to show our face more than we have to.
Oh no, I was assuming you guys. Wait, was the scroll you used up?
Assume so. Assume when you scrolls, they're consumed.
Yeah.
Then we should not even go to that other place. We need to hunker down because if you guys
Well-
get spotted, we're fucked.
The scroll. There were 3 scrolls. The scroll of Arahant, or Arahant copied his scroll of the spell in his spell book, so the scroll went up, but he still has a spell in his spell book.
We have
Mel
left.
used his scroll this morning to take on the guise of the old woman. He didn't have much of a choice, by the way. But Sharbot decided that he did not need it, so we do have 1 scroll left.
Yeah, so I can still disguise myself, and then Aron can just cast a spell to disguise himself.
As you said, I have quite a good memory.
But do we want to use that? Okay. What level is this guy's self?
First level.
Right.
First level.
How much does it cost to make a first level spell scroll?
I looked at the
Actually,
rulebook
can
surprising
you
for a
make a
minute.
first level spell scroll?
You can make one of any level other than cantrips.
Right, the take.
But you have to know the spell, and then it's so many hours. Like eventually,
Yeah.
you as an artificer will get better at making magic things. Like you do it in
I
less
know.
time, but I don't
I'm
know what
just
the base rules
thinking
of it
that
are.
like Oh, no.
I think scrolls might have more like time investment than actual
Grabbing
money
spells.
investment. Like it's 25 gold and a day per first level spell scroll.
Yeah, unless you're literally a scribe's wizard, and then you just fucking
And would a
Knock that
wizard
shit
be able
out.
to make those?
any spellcaster can.
I mean, because my worry here is that we have that 1 scroll left, and we either use it now to have Mel be safe in the streets, because if we run into any actual non-fake guards, we would be fucked. And the thing is, if you guys want to go somewhere undisguised, I would want to keep my distance so that if you two get caught, I can help you break out somehow from the outside.
Yeah.
Well, I can I can help in some way. I do have. Let me check.
I mean, if we could put together a disguise kit, that's another option.
Oh, wait, is the disguise kit a tool?
I don't know what it's classified under.
I think those.
Count as a tool.
I don't know if it's an artisan tool though.
I
No,
think
it
that's
says artisan tool. It says adventuring gear artisan's tool.
It does?
Yep. On
Awesome, then
Roll
I'll make
20.
the disguise kit real quick.
pouch of cosmetics, hair dye, small props, great disguise that change your physical appearance. Proficiency with this kit lets you add your proficiency bonus to any ability checks make to create a visual disguise. So I won't be able to add my proficiency, so I'm not good with it. Oh wait, aren't you proficient? Does it make you proficient with ones you make?
Let me check. No. does not seem to be the case.
Well, Arahant points out I can, if needed, I can make two of us invisible.
But that won't hold even close to as long as the disguise.
Not if it's
I have it.
there's two different invisibilities. There's the one that's like for combat. There's the one for exploration.
I have an idea, but you're not gonna like it.
Ah, that's the best kind of ideas.
Who will not like it? The DM or the players?
I don't think that Mel will like it.
Regular invisibility would be good for our purpose because it's up to an hour. But that's the exploration one. The greater invisibility is better for combat because it doesn't go away when you attack her.
Yes, but it's not yet
It
on.
might be slightly far away.
Real quick to tell you my idea. If you give me your weapon, or any weapon that's like clearly visible on you, and I put this on you, and I pull out a set of manacles, like not lock it so you can still like break out of them like literally without any problems, but have it look like I handcuffed you. I can just keep my uniform on, and Arahan can disguise himself as being a god as well. And we could just walk from place to place, and if anyone questions us, we can just say we've apprehended you and are bringing you somewhere.
The problem with that is that I don't think they would want to pursue it the normal channels, and it would alert them, hey, one of the fugitives is back, and they would be more aware or cautious.
That is fair.
But that is a good fail-safe backup if something were to go awry.
Again, if like, I'll be honest with you, either you use that scroll, you turn invisible, or I cannot be close to you.
Yeah, well, like I said, you could make that disguise kit. That's another option if we run out of spells to do the deed. Because at least at a cursory look, like, people wouldn't pay much attention to it. It's only someone really looking at me.
How about over the course of basically until the next session, you guys actually talk amongst each other or write amongst each other or whatever method of communication you prefer, like just about actual plans for what you will need to get, how you want to get down, and so on and so forth.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think I would kind of want to quit the session here. Then I will still have time to prepare custard for tomorrow before going to sleep.
The custard! We can't forget about the custard! What's more
There was a
important
general-
to you, DM? Custard or us?
There
Tell
was a-
me!
there
I
was a
thought
general
you loved us!
we're almost we're at 2.5 hours by now. So
Yeah.
and you were like basically just thinking for, I don't know, 15 minutes.
Hey, it's better to think. Like, most time players just charge head first into things and get murked
Yes,
by it.
indeed. We are much more deliberate as a group.
Yeah, but thinking time is a great thing to just do the break and let people think over the course of, over a longer stretch of time, and then have something ready for the next session.
Sure.
Except that usually when I see DMs do it, or I tell my players to do it, the next time they haven't thought about anything and are back at square one. But I'm sure that won't happen here.
I'm sometimes that player, so I will try not to be that player this time around.
I think honestly, it's literally just the flow chart really we have to make.
Well, let's go ahead and say our goodbyes to stream, and then we can
Yeah.
continue speculating.
Indeed.
So, who?
Bye, bye stream.
Goodbye, stream. Fun time.
Have a nice weekend.
Says bye, and Tony will soon as well.
Yeah.
I will not get that reference until I have my gem.
So, children, make sure to eat your custard to go big and strong. And until the next one, have a good one, everyone.
And don't forget, don't make war, make pissing at each other.
Oh God.
Cut it out.